Welcome to the fifth dimension. I'm Cerise. Today we're going to talk about cheating. You found out your partner cheated on you and you don't know what to do. Well, there's only one of two things that you can do. One, you can forgive them. Two, you can leave them. Let's watch this short video right here about what this young lady is saying.
I'm 18.
Let's say we're together and I'm paying all the bills and taking care of you, but I cheated on you. Would you give me another shot or would you leave?
I would give you another shot, of course I would. If you're taking care of the things and, we can have a simple conversation to establish, the exclusivity of our relationship, then I understand. But if you have one slip up, then I can't really say nothing. You're taking care of everything. My duty is to suck, fuck, and shut the fuck up at the end of the day.
Suck, fuck, and shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
Where'd you get that from?
Well, I realize that a man, after a long day of work and he wants to pay, he's paying for all the bills, he's, taking care of all the duties, fixing the plumbing, fixing all the stuff that a woman wouldn't do. I do want to give him his time to breathe afterwards. I need to pleasure him. I need to make sure he's fed and happy, and then I'll be able to kind of talk to him. But I want to really make sure that my man has everything he needs and to support our family and not be overly stressed out. I don't need to create problems with him crying over the phone because he liked another girl's Instagram photo. It makes no sense.
But you're 18 now. How did you develop this mentality so young?
My parents are older. My parents are in their 60s, so I definitely got raised from older values and definitely the traditional values as well. But I've always grown up pretty Republican, pretty conservative, so I guess that's where the values come in.
Now, she said a couple of things that ring true, but then she said a couple of things that the Bible would not agree with at all. Now, a few things that she did say, tradition. You want to just kind of do what you want with your husband. Make sure you please your husband. Make sure you please your wife. And of course, shut up. Like she said, don't put up a big argument and a big fight about everything, especially if your spouse is going out and doing what they have to do to help the household and get things done. Nowadays, women are doing it all, and men are as well. So, there is a balance. She's speaking about tradition, and back in the day, women, they would have to put up with their men cheating, having a lot more mates outside of the house because, well, she was the homemaker. She was the one that was, not really bringing in the money. She was keeping the household together, and her job, very important. Sometimes the breadwinner always takes precedence because they feel like they're doing most of the work. They're the ones getting up, going out into the world, working around all of those energies out there, sometimes encountering negative people. Sometimes they have a boss that's horrible. Sometimes they have to deal with mean co-workers. At other times, they may get stuck in traffic and have to deal with road rage. There's so much that a partner does when they are the main breadwinner of the house. And then they may have to work really long hours. And that alone can take a toll on their body. So yes, when they do get home, it's important to make sure that you don't complain about your day if they're not complaining about theirs. Maybe just talk about your day and they can talk about their day. Make sure that a meal is waiting for them. Make sure that you are not the type of woman, if it is your husband that's the breadwinner, make sure you're not the type of woman that's a dripping faucet. A dripping faucet. Imagine drip, 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 annoying. Your man goes out, your husband is working all day, he's working long hours, he's dealing with traffic, he's dealing with people who are negative, and he can't wait to get home to his wife and be held, eat a good meal, relax, put some money on the table because he's proud to bring home the fruit of his labor. But then, when he gets in the door, he hears, "Where were you? Why were you late again? We don't spend any quality time. Your food is on the table and it's cold. I don't want to heat it up. Blah, blah, blah." This is not a good thing. And this is what will push your husband out of the house in the arms of another woman. Now, he may not leave you, and he may even regret it and never do it again. But chances are he did it because of an unbalanced household. In the Bible, it says a divided household will never, ever stand. Now, if your husband cheated on you, he sucks. He got weak. He was tempted. In the Bible, it says this right here. It says 6, verse 32 to 33. But a man who commits adultery has no sense. Whoever does so destroys himself. Blows and disgrace are his lot, and his shame will never be wiped away. Let's look at Matthew 5:27-28. You have heard that it is said, you shall not commit adultery. But I tell you that anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart. Cheating starts in the heart. It doesn't only begin with physical action. Let's look at this one. Hebrews 13:4. Marriage should be honored by all, and the marriage bed kept pure, for God will judge the adulterer and all the sexual immoral. Let's look at Hebrews 13:4. Marriage should be honored by all, and the marriage bed kept pure, for God will judge the adulterer and all the sexually immoral. Let's look at the number one thing, the commandment. Exodus 20:14. One of the commandments says, you shall not commit adultery. Simple and pure. God forbids adultery. God forbids cheating. So if your spouse cheats on you, they suck. They do. They suck. They got tempted, but they're not perfect. So it's up to you if you're going to keep them or take them back. If you keep them, do not keep them and continue to beat them with blows. Do not continue to accuse them. If you keep them, you have to be willing to be strong, and you have to make sure that your partner works with you on keeping that relationship strong. You might have to come up with a few agreements. Some people, they say, give me the password to your phone. Other people say, give me the password to your email. Other people, they track their partners and they do all this. But is that really forgiveness? Is that really living in a good, healthy relationship? I don't think so. I think at the end of the day, we really have to be careful when we say we forgive someone and we keep them in our bed and we keep them in our life because we decide that they are good enough to forgive. When they are good enough to forgive, make sure you forgive. Let go. If you decide that you're going to stop talking to them, you're going to ignore them, you're going to punish them, then that gets to a point of not forgiving them. That gets to a point where you are living unhappy and you are punishing yourself and quite possibly if you have children as well. So the other option you have is leaving them. And that sometimes is tough. Some people, especially if you've been married for a long time, in a relationship for a long time, whether it is a long distance relationship, common law, or a holy matrimony, it does become difficult. What becomes difficult is the habitual connection. You guys are used to each other. Maybe waking up, leaving text messages for each other. Maybe checking out each other's Facebook, Instagram, tagging each other when you guys make posts online. It could be a multitude of things that you do within your daily lives together. And then you have to change your whole life, because when you are with this person, it becomes so difficult for you to separate yourself from this person. They have been your life for so long. How do you just pick up and transform your life? How do you do that? It's very difficult. It's very difficult to pick your life up and just move on and become a different person and act like that's just a person that you used to know, especially if that person was somebody who you knew best and knew you best. But you have to do it with intention. I'm not encouraging divorce. I'm not encouraging separations. They pull families apart and they hurt people deeply. So if you are going to have a divorce and you are going to do your separation, you have to do it with intention. You can't do it with hate. You can't do it with anger. You have to do it with pride and dignity and faith, and say to yourself, this is the best thing I can do, because I know I'm incapable of being in a relationship with somebody who might quite possibly cheat again. Somebody who doesn't understand the solitude and the matrimony and the importance of keeping my heart safe and sound, keeping my mind peaceful. This person is not thinking about me as much as I'm thinking about them. This person does not have loyalty, commitment, respect for our bed, for our bodies, and for our union. And so I must leave this person. I must separate myself from this person because we are not compatible. We do not understand what the other person needs completely and fully. This person doesn't understand what I need in life is solitude. What I need in life is love. What I need in life is trust, commitment. Someone that is going to treat me the way I treat them. So because they can't do that, I must leave. And again, you leave with dignity. If you are not sure if your partner is cheating, pray. The truth will come to light. You pray. You will know when they're cheating, because God will give you that answer. And when you do get that answer, be ready and willing to make the change that you need to make. Whether it's staying with the person or whether it's leaving, you have to make a plan for exit or forgiveness. Thank you so much for joining the Fifth Dimension. Be careful out there with your heart and your soul. God bless you.